A man with a mysterious past is dedicated to begin a new life until he helps a young girl from Russian mobsters. This is my review of The Equalizer. So there are two reasons why I went to see this movie with my dad. One of those reasons is because Denzel Washington was playing the main role of the movie. Another reason is because Antoine Fuqua was the director of this movie, and he also directed Training Day. And I know that I said in my one-shot update number 14 that David Ayer directed Training Day, but I found out that I was wrong and that it was actually Antoine Fuqua that directed Training Day and that David Ayer wrote Training Day. I have to tell you guys, after I saw The Equalizer in September, I can say that the movie was good. The good points. I think the best thing coming out of this movie is Denzel Washington playing Robert McCall. Because even though he's the cliched in retirement person that has like a big past, I just thought that Denzel did a great job with the role that he had to take. Because for the most part, when I was watching this movie, I didn't really see Denzel Washington, even though like he was there. But I saw this ex-Special Forces person that has a troubled past and is trying to help people around him. Another good point is that I thought, for the most part, all the action scenes were done well. And the reason they were done well was because of the directing by Antoine Fuqua, the editing in the action scenes, and the acting that was done in those action scenes. Because for me, sometimes with action scenes, when they're done by an actor or a extra or a stunt double, it doesn't seem sometimes for me that they don't give that certain emotion in those action scenes. And what I mean is that certain emotion that makes it real. But when I was watching The Equalizer, I just thought, man, this is like really good action scenes, since I thought like this could be real possibly. As for the rest of the cast, I can say that the person that played the antagonist did a good job, and some of the other members of the cast did a good job too. As for the sound design was done well, because when these gunfights or fights are happening in these like close quarter scenarios inside buildings or outside in an alleyway, you feel like you're in those scenarios because of what you're hearing around you. The only other two small good points I can say about this movie are that I liked some of the other directing that Antoine Fuqua did that wasn't action, and there was some writing that I liked as well. The bad points. I guess the main problem I had with this movie was the writing, even though a second ago I said that some of the writing was okay, but as for some of the other writing, I thought that it was bad with some of the decisions of like how the antagonist of the movie wound up, and with the dialogue, and with the character decisions that the characters had in the movie, well, some of them. And I'll get to that later on in the spoiler section. Another bad point about this movie is with some of the action scenes, because Antoine Fuqua directed some of the action scenes a little bit too stylistically. Because of some of the action scenes, there's slow-mo moments or artsy kind of moments. And when those slow-mo or artsy moments came into the movie, I was like, I don't know if I like this, because it doesn't really feel like it should be in this movie. And really the only other bad point I can say about this movie is that I thought some of the acting by some of the cast members could have been done better. Like I said, I saw this movie with my dad, and my dad gives this movie a 3.25 out of 4 stars, while I give it a 3 out of 4 stars. Like I said, I thought it was a good action movie, not one of the best ever, but still a good action movie in general. I thought that Denzel Washington played his character well, and the directing by Antoine Fuqua with some of the better action scenes in this movie was done well too. Alright, spoilers for The Equalizer. If you haven't seen this movie yet, and you still want to see it, then get over now, because I'm going to be talking about the endings with some of the antagonists of this movie, and with some of the character decisions that some of the characters made in the movie that sort of made me question the movie. So if you still want to enjoy this movie for yourself, then get out of here now. Okay, let's talk about some of the character decisions first. Okay, let's talk about when McCall goes into the restaurant where the Russian antagonist is. When they were having their back and forth dialogue with one another, I was just asking myself inside my head, like, why isn't the Russian guy trying to kill McCall right now? And I guess the reason that he didn't kill McCall there and then was because it was a public place and there were people around. But still, you have McCall right in front of you, so I think you should be, like, trying to do something or, like, signal someone that you know, like, to say, like, hey, McCall's right here. And then I believe the scene ends with McCall just walking out of the restaurant. I'm like, wait, you're not doing anything? McCall's walking away and you're trying to get him, so try to get him right now. But no, he just lets McCall go out of the restaurant and he just ponders on what they were saying. Another character decision I sort of didn't like was with the crooked cop. And by the crooked cop, I mean the one that McCall is trying to, like, sort of suffocate in his car. Because while McCall is torturing him and questioning him about information, he's not giving McCall any answers and he's just swearing at him. And not only that, he's not trying to get out of the car either. Like, I know that the doors are locked from the outside or something, but he's not even trying to kick out the windows or anything. So if I was in that situation, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, like, beep you, beep you. I would have tried to kick out the windows or the windshield, or as McCall was bringing the window down, like, put my fingers in between the window and the, like, upper part and, like, try to break the window. And the only other character decision I want to talk about is with the friend that McCall has at work. So when McCall's friend is escorting his coworkers out, and when his friend looks back inside the store to see if McCall's coming and he doesn't see him, it looks like he's going to go back, and inside my head I'm like, no, don't go back, don't try to be a hero, you're just going to get yourself killed. But yeah, he was just like looking into the store, and then he was like, okay, I'm out of here, and I'm like, okay, good. But then I think it was 10 minutes later that McCall was laying down on the floor after he had a fight with one of the Russian henchmen. And then it was sort of a jump scare because we saw arms, like, grabbing McCall, but then as the camera went out in the next shot, we saw that it was actually the friend. And I'm like, no, you idiot, why did you come back? I know he's your friend and he helped you and everything in your life, but, like, don't, like, get yourself killed. And finally, let's talk about the endings with the antagonist. So as for the main antagonist of the movie, I hated the way that he died. Because there was, like, no epic fight or anything, it was just him being shot by McCall by some sort of nail gun. And I also hated the fact that it was almost totally done in slow motion also. And when he died, I didn't feel satisfied with his death because it's like, oh, come on, like, you couldn't have, like, some sort of fight scene? And I know that the movie is trying to be somewhat realistic, but I just didn't feel satisfied with his death. And as for the other antagonist, which is, like, the big mob boss, I felt that this scene was a little bit rushed into the movie, because we see, like, we're on this mansion ground or something, and there's people all around with guns and everything, and as we go inside the mansion, we see there's more people with guns, and as we go into the bathroom, we see a person, and we're guessing it's the Russian mob boss. Then we see the curtains, like, start to lower and everything, and then the lights turn out, and McCall's in the bathroom just sitting on a chair. And after McCall and the mob boss have this, like, small discussion with each other, he doesn't hear McCall and he doesn't see him. Then he goes out and he tries to yell to, like, for help or something. And when he turns the switch on, like, little does he know, but the wires, like, below him or something were cut and there was water sprinkled over the floor, and the wires were dipped into the water, and he got electrocuted. And I felt like that was rushed because it was just a 5-minute scene of McCall killing the Russian mob boss. And I know that the movie has to tie up loose ends somehow, but I think it would have been better if it was in a sequel or something. Because the way this movie ends, it does set up a sequel in a way, since it leaves the story open-ended, with McCall's character trying to help other people. So that's my review for The Equalizer. Hope you guys liked it. And other than that, guys, that's it.